Gorilla Sports. But first, we got to talk about this Broncos situation and where they are, Cease. I want to throw a name at you, and I want you to tell me yay, nay, would they be in on it? And I'm not talking about breaking the bank for a guy. I mean, heck, we're on the very back end of the third wave of free agency at this point. So anybody out there is probably going to have the hard conversation of like, well, should I just take this deal before I hurt my value even more?
Right.
Love what the Broncos did with Evan Ingram. That's a home run. They've needed a tight end since Owen Daniels and Julius Thomas were around here. Love what they did adding Dre Greenlaw. They've needed an inside linebacker since Danny Trevathan was around here.
It's been a minute.
So the signings have been outstanding. You and I both gave them the A's, right, in the free agency grade conversation. But there's a name out there that they can still get, they can still afford, and could make them an even bigger player in the AFC. And I'm talking about running back JK Dobbins. Had over 1,000 yards total last year receiving and rushing, and missed 4 games, wasn't the full-time starter even in the games that he was playing in. This is a dude that's only made $7.8 million in his career, and I say only, we'd all kill for that amount of money, but NFL life, that's not a big bank by any means. You could go get a guy like JK Dobbins with the $6-7 million you have. You say it's a 2-year deal. We're going to guarantee start at 5. You want to play hardball? All right, we'll guarantee $1 more million and get to 6 so that it's a 1-year deal basically worth $6 million. If it works, great. Let's talk about next year because he's only 26 years old. And if it doesn't work, we took the bat off of our shoulder. We took a swing, but no sweat off our back. You know why? Because I used the 20th pick to select Amarian Hampton, and we still have a running back that we can develop, use in year 1, and have more production out of the running back room than they've had probably since old Philip Lindsay was around.
Well, and J.K. Dobbins can make plays. Even the guys coming into the league at the scouting combine, both Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State talked about hey, J.K. Dobbins, that guy was a Buckeye, you can still get it done. And that's the thing, like game, no game, right? And you know that he is the type of player that could come in and be a runner, a receiver out of the backfield. He doesn't need to come off the field. If you needed him to be the full-time starter, you could, but you need him for half the time? If I'm J.K. Dobbins, I'm finding a way to get to Denver. I am talking to my agent and be like, I'll take less money.
Yeah.
The money's not great because the streets are cold for veteran running backs, especially now. We're in wave 3, wave 4, just the continuous last wave of free agency. You're not going to get the deal that you wanted to get. You're going to get what you can get, and you won't throw a fit. Yes, that's what I told my kids all the time.
Nice.
And J.K. Dobbins, that's what you're going to get, but I'm almost angling to come to Denver. One, because of the attraction of Sean Payton. Sean Payton's going to put you in a spot where you're not going to get 35 carries or even 20 carries. You're going to get, 12 carries, something like that. You're going to catch 3, 4, 5 passes every game. You're going to be heavily involved as a runner and as a receiver, but you're going to be splitting time in the backfield. You're going to be staying healthier. Sean Payton, gold star, an attraction for free agent running backs. The other one, Bo Nix. You're not going to have defenses that stack the line to stuff the run because you have Bo Nix who'll slice you. You stack the line. You go single on the outside against one-on-one coverage for Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix is going to kill you.
Yep.
And a guy like J.K. Dobbins knows that, so lighter boxes, more rushing rooms, more production, maybe throw in some of those Walmart incentives, and all of a sudden you've got a contract that looks pretty nice, especially comparatively speaking to other teams out there. Third and final piece for J.K. Dobbins, the attraction to Denver is strong. Why? As Sir Smoke-A-Lot would say. The attraction is Sean Payton, putting you in a spot. The attraction is Bo Nix, lighter boxes. And the third one is, you wanted Najee Harris over me?
Right.
What?
Right.
I'm going to kick your ass. Every time I face you, did they beat the Chargers last year? We always talk, and you and I had the conversation, are the Broncos a top 5 team in the AFC? And it's a great discussion. And you had mentioned the Chargers, and well, hey, until they beat the Chargers, we can't really say that. And I'm like, well, I can say it because I'm crazy. But also, I don't believe in the Chargers. J.K. Dobbins, if you want a little revenge against your former team, then yeah, come on over. Harbaugh's did you wrong, man.
Yeah.
John gave you a good word of recommendation. Jim brought you in. Now he doesn't want you.
But then Jim said you're not good enough to stay.
Exactly. And we're going to go get that guy, Najee Harris.
Ugh.
Najee's pretty average. And again, all due respect, he's way better than Javonte or whatever. And Javonte also got hurt. But that's the choice they made. So make them pay. In football and in life, there's nothing better than people that think you can't do it. And then you go do it, and then you shove it in their face.
Yep.
That's what J.K. Dobbins needs to do. He can do that here in the Mile High City. You're not going to do that with the Raiders. They already made their decision in terms of running back, and they'll probably get Ashton Genty in the draft anyway. But you look at where he could go, why he could come here, the answers all come up Denver.
Yep. I love it. I love the revenge factor of it, too. Of
course you love
There's
that.
nothing better than beating the ones that didn't, your ex or the old crew that you were with or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, good living, man.
That's you should be motivated to do those sort of things. And like I said, they have the money. You're still going to be sitting pretty for your draft class and being able to afford the 20th, 51st, 85th, pick there, and still have the money to go get a guy that had over 1,000 yards, total yardage a year ago, and as I said, missed the 4 games. If he had played in those 4 games, his numbers would have been better than Najee Harris.
Yeah.
He would have been a more sought-out asset if he had just not missed those games. So, the Broncos have shown with their free agency moves, they're not afraid of injury. They believe in Bo Lowry, our guy. I haven't said his name in a couple of days. His ears are ringing. So I think it's just a smart move. It's not going to break the bank, and it doesn't throw off what the team should or would do in the draft. In fact, it might even help them with what we've talked about of throwing the scent off of teams.
Yeah.
Now you might have thrown teams off the tight end trail because you signed Evan Ingram. You go get a guy like JK Dobbins that rushed for over 900 yards last year, you're going to put a lot of teams behind you comfortable going, no, why would they pick him? We can kick it right here. And then you cut their damn feet off on draft night.
And he's running out of leverage.
Yeah,
Unfortunately for him, the more days that pass, the less leverage he has. There might be a couple of teams on the line. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned putting your Miko jersey on Facebook Marketplace. Hey, I'll give you $20. Well, I had someone message me and said they're coming over right now, said they'd give me $50. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe what Dobbins, my agent, is doing right now. However, that's going to run out. That's going to run out. You only have so much time to sell that. You can't really sell anything. Streets are cold. Phones aren't ringing. So if you're the Broncos, advantage Denver. And then I mentioned at the Combine and talking to Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, what if you drafted one of those guys? They already love JK Dobbins. So now you get a couple of Buckeyes backs in different eras, granted. JK's been in the league, but still. You get the guys that looked up to him.
Right.
Now they're teammates with the guy. That's just inspired play right from the jump. And as a running back, this is why I'm down on Audric Estime. As a running back, you should see it immediately. I'm not Vic. I'm not Ryan. I don't have this love affair with Notre Dame. I'm just here to tell you, a 5th-round player that doesn't show up and show it immediately, he made the 53. What else? Who else they got?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at Audric Estime in year 2. Why didn't he take that step in year 1? Why couldn't he beat out Javonte Williams? I'm here to tell you, you get a Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins to go along with J.K. Dobbins. Now, if you're Estime, you're really up against it.
Yeah.
Because your young backs should show it immediately. Why did Jaleel McLaughlin, show some spark? Because he showed it immediately. Now, is there more spark? Has he already maxed out? Yes. The answer is, he's pretty much maxed out in what he can do. That's no disrespect. That's just the truth. It's not meant to make you feel good. So for me, there's multiple reasons for JK to choose Denver, and there's more reasons for Denver to choose him than maybe some would think.
Well, and then I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit on this thought, but you then think about what 2026 could bring, and we're talking about year 3 with Bo and Sean. You're talking about a second year going into it with Evan Ingram and a J.K. Dobbins, depending on how it looked, because you'd be off the books of finances. But Dre Greenlaw, your inside linebacker, locked up. Hufanga on the back end as a safety, locked up there. You would also have addressed the biggest positions of need. You are going to get, I can never remember the number, it's like 32 or 34 million bucks. The final number from the Russell Wilson contract, gone. The salary cap is going to go up again because it's the football, it's the NFL and TV, and that's what it's going to do. 7% used to be the standard. It feels like the standard's like 12 now, 14%. And I believe it's going to trend in that direction. You could be sitting in a position next year of Bo Nix's 3rd year where they've gone to the postseason for 2 consecutive seasons. They've won maybe 2, maybe more postseason games in year 2. Going into that 3rd year with about as much cap space as these low-level, bottom-feeder football teams are going to have, and an offensive core and a defensive core that includes Pat Surtain, Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, Brandon Jones. Let's see if Riley Moss can put himself inside of that conversation in year number 2. You would have a 4 or 5 man core on defense and a 6-7 man core on offense if you added a guy like JK Dobbins.
Another reason for JK Dobbins to come here. The offensive line is fantastic.
There you go.
Tell me you don't watch the Broncos without telling me you don't watch the Broncos. Oh, the offensive line is terrible. Like, nope. Offensive line, I'm not just saying advanced data, Pro Football Focus, run block win rate, but they're amongst the top 5 in both pass block win weight, and run block win rate. This offensive line is damn good. You want a bunch of holes? You want to be able to run through them? You want to be able to produce those yards? You want to be able to get another contract? Maybe it is a 1-year deal. It's a prove-it deal for JK Dobbins. Oh, shakes his fist at the sky. Well, prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it by coming to Denver and winning a Super Bowl. Your window is now, and it's not just opening. Let's stop soft selling this. Why are people like that? And I know it's been hell since Super Bowl 50, and Kev was a fresh-faced 18-year-old baby. Super Bowl 50. This is Super Bowl 60. It's been hell pretty much since then till now. It's not that anymore. It's about to be heaven. And it could be 7th heaven here in the Mile High City, and this could be their year. Mm-hmm. We're saying that, and I'm not a homer. I honestly don't care if ZB says I'm a homer, whatever. This could be their year. Hey, Cincinnati got a couple of receivers. I don't know if you saw Stink getting Bengals fans were very upset with it.
Oh, really?
Because he's like, yeah, tell me what you're going to win. You know, hey, you got a couple of receivers. You have no defense.
Guess what? Stink's right.
This team, what'd you say, 5 core on the defense?
On the defensive side, 6, 7, 8 on the offensive side.
And you might be a little light on the defensive side when we talk about Zach Allen, when we talk about Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito, right? All across that defensive line. Playmakers, all 3 levels. Why not? I'm not predicting that they'll win the Super Bowl, but I'm saying Super Bowl 60 is theirs until it's not. Their window is now. It's not in a couple years. It's not if, ands, and buts, because in a couple years, Zach Allen's not here. Cortland Sutton's not here. All these guys are older. It's now. This is a win-now league. And Sean Payton, you think Sean Payton is sitting around thinking, you know what, in a couple of years, we'll be ready. Sean Payton's ready to go now. Sean Payton thinks he's going to win the Super Bowl now. He may not say that publicly. Maybe he does. I don't know how many lattes he's had.
He dropped the term young and hungry is dangerous. He dropped that term several times.
They're still young and hungry, and they are dangerous. So why not us? And it's not pie in the sky like this has to work, and this has to work, and this has to work, and this has to work. They're there, man. They get the right backfield combination, and they're there. Their Super Bowl window is now, and it's not in a couple of years. It is now. You can't wait in this league, because if you stand around and wait in this league, you know who you are? You're Buffalo. You're not won anything. You know who you are? You're the Chargers. You choke all the time. We're really good, everybody. This is Broncos country, and it's different here. AFC West title doesn't mean, it means something now because it's been a minute, but that's the expectations.
Right.
Yes, they're going to win the AFC West, and how far can they go in the postseason? If they get a guy like JK Dobbins, the answer could be pretty far.
Tribal Council member Javi texts in on the RamosLaw.com text line, says, how much does Sean like Bidet? He was going to be a big part of the offense before he got hurt, I feel. Javi, you're absolutely right. He was. And then even, was it the Buffalo game? Was that the postseason when he got the jersey and we saw some changes with the lineup?
An estimate did not.
That's what it was. Look.
Does that mean anything?
I don't think so. I think that they're looking. I don't know that Tyler Bidet is like getting cut. I still think he has to prove it for his roster spot.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not sure that Sean is looking at him as the answer there. He's looking at him as an option, not the answer.
Let's look at what they have currently. They have Blake Watson. Don't at me, bro. They have Tyler Bidet.
Options, not answers.
They have variations of in the same area code as a Kamara. They're not Alvin Kamara. Don't at me, bro. Blake Watson may get cut. Tyler Bidet may get cut. Maybe not even on the practice squad. Who knows? But they already have guys who are in the area code of a Kamara. They don't really have an Ingram. JK Dobbins could be your Ingram. And I'm not saying it's August estimate. Again, Notre Dame's awesome, I guess. Whatever. I actually don't like the Golden Domers, but whatever. I don't care. For me, it's like he didn't produce. He didn't produce at a position where you should from day one. He didn't produce in a time when the team could need him to produce, where the opportunity was there. I'll tell you this. You add JK Dobbins, you draft Omarion Hampton. You add JK Dobbins, you draft Travion Henderson. Where's the opportunity for Audric Estime?
There isn't.
There is none.
There isn't any.
Last year, hey, all you got to do is beat out Jaleel McLaughlin and Javonte Williams.
Mm-hmm.
You could have been a stud. You could have been the man. We could have been talking about, oh, man, what happened? Now it's going to be Tyler Bidet and Audric Estime. Running back could have been wrapped up. But you dropped the ball, Audric Estime. Literally dropped the ball. And that start to your career, it's not great, Bob. And it means the team could move on.
If we're looking at something that Blake Watson, Tyler Bidet, Audric Estime, Jaleel McLaughlin, you tell me the Broncos can replace those 4 names with J.K. Dobbins and Omarion Hampton, and then, all right, one of you guys, Blake Watson would probably be who I would lean towards because there's the unknown, and I want to know at some point. Maybe Audric Estime is a practice squad type guy. He's a 5th-round pick. You're absolutely right about that. But those 4 names, you tell me you can upgrade those 4 dudes and Javonte, who's not even here anymore, and turn that into J.K. Dobbins, Omarion Hampton, and then Blake Watson's on the practice squad, gets opportunities, either makes the most of it or gets cut one way or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a million times better than Javonte Williams, who can't find the hole, goes east and west rather than north and south, and Jaleel McLaughlin, who can't break a shoestring tackle at all in the history of his life. Those 2 dudes would be a giant upgrade.
Yeah. And dare I say, where would you put Audric Estime in this year's draft class?
Oh, dude.
He'd be undrafted.
He's not getting picked.
And all due respect, I mean, Phil was undrafted. He's a great player.
Yeah.
But if we look at it, he was a 5th-round pick in a year where, running back was okay. This running back class is amazing. I would be very comfortable with 2 rookie running backs as their starters, as their co-starters. If you have Omarion Hampton and then somehow you get Rashard Smith, something like that.
Dude, I'm not opposed to this. Is J.K. Dobbins' idea we're floating out?
Yeah.
I still wouldn't be mad if they drafted 2 more running backs.
Sure.
You get somebody at 20, and then you use one of those 6 to take a shot on somebody, and it's a flyer, and they're in the same competition that Blake Watson and Audric Estime are in.
Yeah, and if you want a large back, there's options there for you there. Taj Brooks from Texas Tech, who I saw at the Shrine Bowl. Like, you have different variations, different combinations, but I think the key is your running back. How far do the Broncos go in 2025? Can they push for an actual Super Bowl? Tell me who's getting the ball 20 times as a runner, and that's also as a receiver out of the backfield. Tell me who your running backs are, and I tell you how far you can go. If you go cheap at running back, and, well, what had happened was we got Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan in the 1st round, and then the 2nd round we get Mason Taylor, so we can say Auntie Chill. Even in the locker room, they'd be able to say
Auntie Chill.
Thank you, Auntie Chill. Then in the 3rd round, you go with Kobe Bryant, the cornerback from Kansas, who I love, by the way. I flippin' love Kobe Bryant, cornerback from Kansas.
He wears number 8, too, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then in the 6th round, you finally get around. That's not the right combination. You need to hit the largest. Evan Ingram, would you call that a home run?
I would.
George Payton's at the plate, home run?
Yep.
What's his walk-up music?
I don't know, but if he's hitting a home run because of the draft pick, then we're going.
Yeah!
Nice, George!
I love the ding-dong.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so George Payton up there with the ding-dong. Leave that one alone. And that's a home run. Evan Ingram's a home run. All right, I'm here to tell you this. They need a grand slam at running back. Home run's nice. Home run's awesome. Evan Ingram, great. Greenlaw, fantastic. I need bases loaded out of the park from 2 running backs.
Would J.K. Dobbins and Omarion Hampton qualify?
1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%.
So we've got the blueprint.
JK Dobbins and Travion Henderson. JK Dobbins and Devin Neal. JK Dobbins. The nice thing is you're going to have multiple swipes at that thing.
Yeah.
Multiple swipes because of this draft class. So get a JK Dobbins and then get a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round running back. And that's your combination. You do that, watch out.
Quick text from the RamosLaw.com text line. We heard from Tribal Council member Javi, and another texter says, "This is another Javi. This might sound dumb, but I just thought it was cool to hear my name on the radio. Shout out to that other Javi."
How do you spell Javi?
Javi.
Okay, Javi. Okay.
I have a friend. Well, we haven't talked in a long time, but I used to have a close buddy, Javi, back in the day, and he went in a different direction than the rest of us went. But
okay, it happens.
you still root for him and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But I think it's cool when you hear your name on the radio. We've had that experience. We shared the Jim Rome stuff. You got what did he tell you?
Oh, that I was critical?
Yes. Oh, I just had it
This
too.
is
Here we
aw-
go.
Cecil, my man, you were awfully critical.
You're
Yeah.
probably pretty fired up when he's talking to you like that on the
Even
radio.
though I got ran.
Yeah.
It was a lame call. And I got ran. My first call into Jim Rome.
What was your take?
Oh, it was something about, oh, God. It's stuff I don't even know I can say on the radio
wow.
anymore. Let's just say Sebastian Janikowski used to like his party favors.
Yeah, I remember the
And
stories.
Bill Romanowski likes his, stuff to help him work out.
Yeah.
I'll say that. So it was like a Janikowski Romanowski party combination. It was pretty bad. So I'm glad Jim Rome ran me. But then after that, I got motivated, right? Because that means you couldn't do it. You couldn't get through. You couldn't get huge call of the day. And then I got huge call of the day multiple times. So
Nice.
yes. Yeah, it's cool to hear your name on the radio. But Javi,
Javi.
I don't think I've ever known a Javi.
Really? Yeah, I've known the one, and then obviously some texters and things like that. but
Okay.
Javi out there. So yeah, we gave you the shout out. there.
Meeting a Cecil is very odd. You don't meet too many, and when you do, you're like, your grandpa's name, right? Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's my
I don't
grandpa's
know that I've
name.
ever met another Cecil.
Okay.
You're
Yeah,
the
I've
only
only
Cecil.
a few.
Yeah.
Only a few. And then my Mexican name that all my Mexican friends will call me is Chilo.
Chilo, I love that.
Yeah. So Chilo.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So
Chilo
Chilo and
Green.
Dover.
Yeah.
Dover and Chilo.
Flaming hot Chilo.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Oh my
when he's
God.
when he's spitting hot fire, just take
Yeah.
after take.
Right.
You're a flaming hot Chilo at that point.
Okay.
There's all kinds of Kevins. There's actually another Kevin Kistner, in fact.
Yeah.
A golfer, right? He's
Yeah.
a golfer.
Yeah, but my last name has two S's. Two is
Oh,
better
he only
than
has
one.
one.
Yeah.
That's correct.
You put the kiss in Kistner?
I put every kiss begins with Kistner.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Ladies, if
How's
you
the-
want some more of that action, we'll be at Sportsbook tomorrow afternoon on
Sportsbook.
525 in Arapahoe.
We want to see you there, man. Tribe, show up. We want to see you there. We want to see you out and about. So Sportsbook, 215.
Yeah, probably about 250.
215. We'll get over there. But yeah, come on out, hang out with us for a couple hours, and call it good, baby.
We'd
Watch
love to see
watch some college hoops, man.
We would love to see you. To love to hear what you think about our running back idea. JK Dobbins, yay or nay? Would you? We would. 303-713-1043. That's the RamosLaw.com text line. Hit us right there. It's also the number you're going to need to call if